couple days ago we got the Xbox showcase, and with it we got a ton of new information on new games and even some info on games we haven't seen before. Today I wanted to share my thoughts on some of the highlights from the Xbox showcase. Kicking things off, we got some gameplay of the next Doom called Doom: The Dark Ages. Personally, I've never played any of the Doom games. I'm not really sure why I haven't, as most of them look like a ton of fun, but Doom: The Dark Ages may just get me into the series. The gameplay we got looks absolutely incredible, and in typical Doom fashion looks like it's filled with fast-paced, non-stop action demon slaying. I honestly can't wait to see more of Doom: The Dark Ages. Currently it's scheduled to release in 2025 on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Next up we got the reveal and some short little snippets of gameplay for State of Decay 3. I've never played any of the State of Decay games either, but there's something I definitely want to get around to playing hopefully soon. If you aren't aware, State of Decay is a co-op zombie survival game. I don't know too many details about the series since I've never played any of them. We didn't see a whole lot about State of Decay 3, but from what we did see, it looks very promising and is definitely something worth keeping your eyes on. Unfortunately, we didn't get a release date and the platforms were in the trailer either. However, with it being an Xbox showcase, it's a given that it'll be on Xbox consoles, and it already has a Steam page, so that also confirms PC. I'm not sure if it'll be coming to PlayStation or not. Moving past State of Decay 3, we got a cinematic trailer for Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Unfortunately, during the Xbox showcase, we didn't get any gameplay. However, another trailer for Dragon Age has released showing off gameplay, and from what I've seen, it looks pretty good. Again, as this seems to now be a theme with this video, I haven't played any of the Dragon Age games, so I don't really know what to expect. All I know is that Dragon Age is an action-adventure RPG, and I'm honestly surprised I've never given any of them a shot, seeing as to how they all look like something I'd really enjoy. For those that have played or are fans of the Dragon Age series, what are your thoughts on Dragon Age Veilguard? Currently, it's scheduled to release in the fall of 2024. Not entirely sure exactly which consoles it'll be on, but like State of Decay 3, it'll definitely be on Xbox consoles and PC. Next up, we have Starfield's announcement of the Shattered Space DLC. From what we saw of this DLC, it looks like it's going to dive a bit deeper into the Varun storyline. I know a lot of people have some very strong feelings towards Starfield, and for me personally, I'm pretty mixed on it. Starfield does some things really well, but also other things really bad. However, from the snippet we saw for the Shattered Space DLC, I personally think it looks pretty good. Hopefully the questline is a lot more engaging and detailed rather than a bunch of fetch this item and bring it back to me type of quests. I've actually 100% completed Starfield, so if you're interested in my review on it, let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see a video on it. They also announced they'd be adding some content to the game the same day, such as new locations, new gear, along with mod support. Currently, the Shattered Space DLC is scheduled to release in 2024 on all platforms that Starfield is currently available on. Coming back down to earth, but still sticking with Bethesda, Fallout 76 is getting an update with a map expansion and the ability to play as a ghoul in early 2025. The Fallout series is something I've never really gotten into. Out of Bethesda's two major franchises being the Elder Scrolls and Fallout, I personally prefer the Elder Scrolls. However, I am interested in the Fallout series, just haven't really had the time to catch up on all the games. Personally, I've never played Fallout 76, but for those who have, I'm curious to know your thoughts. Are you excited for this update, or are you not really interested? Currently, the update is scheduled to release on June 12th. Next up, we got the reveal of Expedition 33. Expedition 33 looks like it's going to be an action-adventure RPG with the potential to have an absolutely incredible story. What we know of the story so far is that there's some painter who every year paints a new number counting down every year. In the trailer, she counted down from 34 to 33. What this means is that everyone who is that age essentially gets Thanos snapped out of existence, leaving it up to us to stop her from ever painting again. I was really surprised by this game and honestly really excited for it. The story sucked me in instantly, and I can't wait to learn more about it. Currently, Expedition 33 is scheduled to release in 2025 on Xbox Series X and S and PC. Next up, we got some more information on South of Midnight. Ever since it was first announced back in, I believe it was the 2023 Game Awards, I was super interested in this game. I honestly love the art style of the game and the overall theme of it. We actually got to see some gameplay and combat for the first time, and I'm honestly pretty excited to see how it's turning out. Combat doesn't look super great, but it also doesn't look terrible from what we saw. Overall, I'm super excited for South of Midnight and can't wait to get even more information on it. Currently, it's scheduled to release in 2025 on Xbox Series X and S and PC. Next up, we have Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. I tried getting into the Metal Gear Solid series a long time ago, but it just never fully got into it. I really want to try to give it another shot because I know the series is loved by so many people, and I kind of feel like I'm missing out on something great. From the gameplay we saw, it looks really good with tons of thought behind each detail of the game. I'm pretty excited for this game and should honestly probably try catching up on some of the other games in the series before this one comes out. Sadly, we don't have a release date, but it will be coming to Xbox Series X and S and PC. Moving along, we have Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn. We actually saw a ton of gameplay for this game, and I gotta admit, the game looks pretty fun. They're calling it a Souls-Light, which means it's similar to a Souls-like, but probably not as hard. Which from the gameplay definitely looks like it won't be as hard as a traditional Souls-like. Honestly, this game looks like it could be really good, but also looks like it could be pretty mediocre. For some reason, it kind of reminds me of Forspoken a bit. I'm definitely intrigued by this game, however, I wouldn't say I'm fully sold on it. Currently, it's scheduled to release on July 18th on Xbox Series X and S and PC. Next up is a game I'm personally really excited for, but I'm sure most people aren't really all that interested in, and that would be Age of Mythology Retold. From my understanding, this is supposed to be sort of like a remaster or maybe a revival of the series from all the way back in 2002. Age of Mythology is a real-time strategy game combining several different mythologies together. Once you pick your mythology, you have to build up an army and try to take down all the other ones. I used to play this game a ton when I was a kid. It's honestly one of the first games I remember playing on PC. I still have the disc for the original back when you could actually get PC games on a disc. I honestly can't wait to be able to revisit one of my childhood games. Currently, it's scheduled to release on September 9th on Xbox Series X and S and PC. Next up, we have Perfect Dark, a game that looks like a futuristic Dishonored where you have to sneak around and try to track down a major villain trying to do some serious damage to the world. Perfect Dark looks like it has a ton of potential and will create some moments that make you feel like you're in an action movie. I'm pretty excited for this one and can't wait to see more on it. Sadly, we didn't get a release date, but it will be coming to Xbox and PC. Moving along, we have the newest update for Diablo 4 called Vessel of Hatred. We only got a cinematic trailer, but Diablo always delivers on making some incredible cinematics. However, it actually needs to play well too, and the last time I played Diablo 4, I honestly didn't have that great of a time. Once I got to the end game, which is where these types of games are supposed to really shine, I got incredibly frustrated with having to run around the map every month collecting statues to be able to actually progress and do something worthwhile. I have heard that Diablo 4 has actually gotten a lot better as of recently, so I may need to hop back on it and see it for myself. Currently, the Vessel of Hatred is scheduled to release on October 8th. Next up, we have one of my most anticipated games, and that is Fable. We finally got to see just a few little snippets of gameplay, and from what we've seen and had teased, this game looks like it's gonna have an absolutely incredible story, and I'm hoping it turns out to be a game I can just get lost in for hours at a time. Most of what we saw during the Xbox showcase for Fable was cinematics, but at least we finally got a little taste of what the gameplay looks like. Currently, Fable is scheduled to release in 2025. Next up, we have Fragpunk, a 5v5 hero shooter where you can use cards to alter the game. Kinda sounds familiar, huh? It's almost like there's another game exactly like this, except it's up to 3 versus 3 and has more of a cartoon art style. Yeah, I'm talking about Friends vs. Friends. Fragpunk looks almost exactly like it, except with a much bigger budget. I personally enjoy games like these, especially with friends, but they're also games that are usually very pay to win. Hopefully Fragpunk doesn't take that route, but only time will tell. Currently, it's scheduled to release in 2025 on Xbox and PC. Next up, we have Mixtape, a game that seems very similar to Life is Strange, or at least the first one from that series, where you follow the story of some teenagers doing teenager things with some supernatural elements thrown into it to spice it up a little more. I know these types of games aren't for everyone, however, I actually kind of enjoy them as long as the story is actually good. If the story isn't solid, then I really don't care about these types of games. I'm interested to learn more about Mixtape and see where it goes from here. Currently, it's scheduled to release in 2025. Speaking of Life is Strange, we have the newest game in the series called Life is Strange Double Exposure. I played the first Life is Strange game and really enjoyed it, and I also played the second one. I think it was called Before the Storm, something like that. Maybe it was the DLC. I remember liking the second one a little less than the first and haven't played any since. From what I've heard, they've kind of gone downhill since, but I can't really say so for myself, seeing as to how I just know nothing about the other games. Double Exposure, however, looks like it has some pretty good potential. You play as a girl who has the ability to warp to different realities, and you have to use that power to uncover the mystery of who killed your best friend. Double Exposure looks like it could be pretty good, but also looks like it could be pretty mediocre. Who knows, maybe this game is what brings me back to the Life is Strange series. Currently, it's scheduled to release on October 29th on Xbox Series X and S and PC. Moving away from Life is Strange, we got Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, a Souls-like where you go around fighting some nasty looking abominations but with a twist. Apparently, you're one of these monsters as well. As you may or may not know, I'm not the biggest fan of Souls-likes, mainly because I'm terrible at them, but I absolutely love watching someone who is good at them play them. Souls-likes for some reason almost always have the absolute best creature designs, and honestly, it makes me a little jealous that more games don't have as cool as creatures as Souls-likes do. Wu Chang fits into that category of some amazing looking creatures, and I can't wait to see more from this game. Currently, it's scheduled to release in 2025 on Xbox Series X and S and PC. Next up is another one of my most anticipated games, that being Avowed. Avowed is an upcoming RPG that reminds me a lot of Skyrim. Honestly, that's kind of what I'm hoping for from this game, seeing as to how how we probably won't get the Elder Scrolls 6 until GTA 7 comes out. We got a little more gameplay for Avowed, and from all the gameplay I've seen of this game, the one thing that looks a little off or has the potential to be clunky is the combat. Combat looks a little weird and goofy at times, but honestly, if the story is top notch, I'm okay with looking past that. I've been excited for Avowed ever since it was announced, and currently it's still scheduled to release in 2024 on Xbox Series X and S and PC. Next up is the biggest surprise for me personally from the show, and that's Atomfall. We got to see some gameplay from the game, and if I had to compare it to something, it looks like Fallout with maybe some of the Elder Scrolls mixed in. During the show, people were calling it British Fallout, and honestly, that doesn't seem wrong either. This game looks really good, and I seriously can't wait to learn more about it. Currently, it's scheduled to release in 2025 on Xbox and PC. Moving on, we have Stalker 2. Ever since this game was announced, I've been really excited to play it. I've never played any of the original Stalker games, and I'm not sure if I ever will. Honestly, they're getting pretty old, and I'm not sure if I'd be able to fully enjoy them now. I may try sometime in the future, but I'm afraid their age will kill the overall enjoyment for me. Stalker 2, on the other hand, sucked me in from the beginning. You play as a Russian, I think, and are tasked with exploring the exclusion zone, an area filled with just a bunch of stuff that wants you dead. Monsters, anomalies, you know, these types of things you wouldn't want to come across. Stalker 2 is currently scheduled to release on September 5th on Xbox Series X and S and PC. Next up, we have Gears of War E-Day. We didn't get any gameplay for this game and instead just got a cinematic trailer. I've never played any of the Gears of War games, so I don't really know much about them. However, I definitely want to change that. I may try to get through all the Gears of War games before this one releases, if that's even possible, because I'm already super interested in the story of this game. I know Gears of War has been going on for a long time and is loved by so many people. From what we got from this trailer, it almost feels like it's the final game. I don't know if it actually will be or not, that's just the feeling I got from this trailer alone. Unfortunately, we didn't get a release date, but it will be coming to Xbox and PC. And lastly, we have the newest Call of Duty, Black Ops 6. I personally have a love-hate relationship with Call of Duty. I grew up playing them and have played almost every single one and know just how amazing they can really be. However, I also know just how little they listen to their community and refuse to actually make changes that would benefit the majority of their players. Black Ops 6 overall looks really good so far with the introduction of Omni movement, which is something completely new for Call of Duty. Now you'll be able to sprint, dive, and slide in any direction. Honestly, this could be an amazing addition to Call of Duty and probably won't be improved any further than this unless they go back to something like Black Ops 3's movement. We sadly didn't get to see much on multiplayer or zombies and instead mostly saw info on the campaign, but overall I'm pretty excited for it. I mostly play multiplayer and occasionally play zombies with my friends, so I'm waiting until we get more info on these modes later in the year. Currently, Black Ops 6 is scheduled to release on October 24th and will also be on Game Pass the same day. That about does it for the Xbox showcase. Honestly, I was really surprised with everything we got updates on, and I can't wait to check out more of them. I'm curious to know what you thought of the Xbox showcase. Were you surprised? Did it meet your expectations? Or did it fall short? Also, if you want to catch up on what you missed from the Summer Game Fest, I have a video going over everything that was announced during the show. Make sure to leave a like, and if you enjoy anything and everything about gaming, you should subscribe, so that way you never miss a video.